about your theme, anything you'd like to present, and then
Watch the light, watch the light.
And then we will shake. Slow and even.
I love it. Program something. If you guys want to start presenting, you can go ahead.
Well, we originally started with like a kind of futuristic, like gear skyscraper design, but when we built it all, we were overweight, so we're now an abandoned building, abandoned like a haunted skyscraper.
Apocalyptic.
Yes. Zombie apocalypse.
So, I mean, we made it so we have this bottom part, which is just like layer of gingerbread with gobstoppers on the top to help it roll as like earthquake dampening. So this will roll freely across the gobstoppers. And we have 5 different layers that all kind of taper into each other. And just to get to this size. So we have our cake is in these little like cavities of the first layer to hold it in there. We have like these windows here, we laser engraved them on. We obviously have these lights that are wired all the way up, these displays. And then, what else do we have? The interior design is kind of 2 straight walls spanning the whole interior with smaller section walls going off to connect to the outside layers. The interior walls are also made out of gingerbread. Our glue that we made, that you can see all right here, is caramel, marshmallow, and gummy bears. So, and we had to mess around with the glue a lot because we found if we put too many gummy bears in it, well, too much moisture got into it and it got a lot weaker and like couldn't hold as well. So we had to find the right measurements and how much of each thing to put in. Our topper is made out of chocolate. It's got the hammer with a chef hat on it, the wrench, and a knife. Also on the base, we have these Twizzlers to stop the whole tower just from like sliding off.
Alright, so for our edible portion that you guys are going to taste, we have a chocolate espresso cake for you with a espresso buttercream.
And in between each layer of the cake is a caramel icing.
Hold on, one more.
You're going to shake, the cake is going to shake for 15 seconds, 30 seconds, and then 1 minute.
And we're going to go up in RPMs each time.
Yes. All right, are we ready?
Yes.
Count it down or you just want to go? Go for it.
Good luck.
3,
Okay.
2, 1.
First minute.
I'm glad they put the scissors up there. Yeah, because it's walking. Let's pick it up a notch.
Yep, 30 for 30.
Okay, we're going to shake for 30 seconds. right, are we ready for our last shake?
Let's do
One
it.
minute. Here we go.
This is a minor loss. Okay, as long as we don't get a gobstopper in the ear.
Probably say no different.
As long as we don't lose all of them. What do we have? 40 more? How many seconds left? Okay, that's 30. That's 40 seconds. 20 more seconds. How many gobstoppers do you have? Really? Only moving a tiny bit.
10 left.
10 seconds left? All right.
All right, so we're gonna get some feedback from the judges, okay?
Well, first of all, it's hard to go first, so congratulations on going first. How are you feeling?
Great.
Yeah, feeling good? Well, obviously, very successful design. Can you tell me a little bit about the base and what was happening with the gobstoppers and how you came up with that idea?
Well, so we got the idea from LA skyscrapers, how they have the rollers on the bottoms to help dampen the earthquake, the vibrations from the earthquake. So the gobstoppers are just really sitting on the top piece of gingerbread, being able to let the actual skyscraper itself move freely across the gobstoppers. So this thing's moving, but this can just glide on it and won't actually move with it that much. So, and we have the Twizzlers there so if it does move and goes a little too far, it won't just fall off.
It's a good thing you had them, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. We were losing gobstoppers. I don't know if we had to go for 5 minutes if we would have had enough, but that's great. Now, I know that when you started, you had a full structure, we couldn't see through it, and then there was a weight problem, so we took some of those off.
Yes.
Those are all gear shapes, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Now, if you could go back and start over, what would you do differently?
Take this over to them.
In the connecting each layer and the inside, there's lap joints helping connect each layer so they don't move across. But they weren't too important, and they added a good bit of weight. So if we would have known we would have been overweight, we would have probably just left those out.
Okay, right on. Comment?
Get back. Kind of shift over here.
Make sure you guys talk right into the mic.
Yep. So I'm a lighting designer, right? So I love the lights. I love that it's programmed. It's moving too slowly for me to actually see, but is it your team name? What's in there?
Experience.
That makes perfect sense. I love it. I also have to comment on the fact that this is a pretty much edible construction.
Yes,
It's difficult to make electronic components edible, so if we kind of put those aside, is there anything in this that's not edible?
No, other
Other than the
left.
wires.
Yeah.
That is really
great.
Yeah.
I was asking Sarah if everything was edible there because it was really impressive. Like everything was shaking. The building was like it's straight, you know. The only thing that was shaking was the top a little bit, but it's there, so that's amazing as well. But I'm excited to taste this.
I'm excited
love
it's not
the
on the floor.
Yeah.
So are they.
All right.
Well, it's wonderful. It's wonderful to know that there is still candy in the future of the apocalypse. So at least we'll have something to nibble on. But I think I like this structure more with the openness of it. And so you did a really good job of creating that internal structure to where when you started removing pieces, you didn't remove pieces that were attached to anything. So by opening it up like that, you were able to drop a lot of weight and not have to affect the structural integrity of it. So I love the dampening idea. It's just fantastic. It's a really great job.
Thank you.
I have a question, actually. Riffing off that, I have a question. So when you found you were overweight, talk to me about the process of the pivot, because you took a big risk in taking out some of your structural components. So what did you think through there?
We just figured that the quickest and easiest thing to do was start taking off the outside layers, and then we were more worried about competing than going with our original look idea, so we just transferred our idea to like the zombie apocalypse type of look too. We also had to take some cake out to just take off some more weight. We didn't know how much it weighed, so we wanted to make sure that it was not going to impact it too much.
And another thing with us taking pieces off of it is we tried to take pieces off that weren't structurally that important as where other pieces were. So we tried to avoid taking the windows off of the entire bottom layer to avoid like damaging the structure of that layer.
Got some cake Jenga going on.
Yeah.
Yes, pretty
Yeah,
much.
and we tried to avoid taking out any panels with lights in them
Thank you.
visually.
Anything else?
Okay, I think they're ready to taste.
Oh boy.
Ready to serve up some cake?
How are we doing this?
Should I get one of our things to scoop it out?
Yes, go grab one.
Yeah, that works.
I was going to split it. Should we split it? Yes, split it. Oh my gosh. Yes.
All right, here we go. So tell us one more time what you've created for us here.
It is a chocolate espresso cake with a caramel icing between each layer and then a coffee buttercream on the outside.
Well, it's definitely delicious.
Thank
All right?
you.
It's delicious. Thank you. I love coffee.
Yes.
And I love espresso. Oh, it's delicious. I'm sure he's going to have a lot more technical comments. I'm sure what I could say is it looks a little dense, but it is delicious tasting. So I'll leave it to you on that one.
Yeah, the espresso flavor is right there, but the cake is a little dense. Could be a little more coffee because it wasn't part of the structure.
Yes.
You're not
Yes.
using the cake as a
Yeah.
structure, so it could be a little more. But definitely the buttercream. Which buttercream you guys use? Swiss, American.
American. It was American.
Yes.
Yeah, American. It's a little more on the sweet side.
Yes.
Also Italian or Swiss buttercream could be a bit less sweet, but the taste of this process is right there.
Rodolfo, we're in Appalachia. We like sweet here. I'm gonna go to bat for you.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with my neighbor from Kentucky.
Yes, thank you.
The honorable lady from Kentucky. And I really like the way that even after, I'd finished swallowing, the flavor of it really stayed in my mouth.
Yep.
And so it like kind of finished with that really smooth caramel flavor. And adding all three of those together is just a really great combination, and let's taste the cake.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So now we make our little comments here, cleanse our palate. Okay. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you,
Thank
Marion
you.
County.
Good.
All right, we are going to have healing tomorrow.
He's behind you.
Hello and welcome back. I am Brady, here with you at the Culineering Challenge with the teams for the award ceremony. But first, before we get to the awards, there's going to be some Q&A with the cast of Baking Impossible. Stand by for the award ceremony. Never sure.
If this is on? Okay. All right, guys, are we ready? First of all, let's have a big round of applause for all the teams, the cast members, everyone here. Thank you guys for all coming, and you should all be so proud of everything that you accomplished. I am shocked that not a single cake actually came off of the table and there was nothing left. I truly thought we'd see at least one today that was completely off the table and we'd have to get the cake from the back, but everybody had a piece left on the table, and that, I mean, you should be so proud. So we are going to do some Q&A here. I've got the cast up here, just like how we did last night. If you have any questions at all, any burning questions you want to ask them, please feel free to raise your hand. Let me know. We will get the mic to you and you can ask. But the cast members also want to ask you stuff too. So they may come around, ask you any questions about your cakes, your ideas, your process, everything, social media maybe. So if you have any questions, please feel free to raise your hand and we will get over to you. But for now, do any of you cast members have any questions for the schools? Okay, Hannah's got one.
Hey teams, how does it feel to be Baconeers?
Yeah.
How do you feel watching the show now and seeing the challenges?
You can relate. We have gone through it.
You all did phenomenally. I'm proud of each and every one of you. You should walk away proud today. You guys did really, really difficult and hard stuff, especially for being some middle school, but mostly high school. Let me tell you, almost none of us were doing this type of stuff when we were your age, so you are ahead of the curve. You all did fantastic.
Yes.
I have a question. Wait, is this?
No, it's for lunch.
Oh, it's for lunch. Okay, I have a question, which is just, were there any like crazy surprises? Like, I'm curious if any of the culinary or engineering folks were like surprised at, you know, something.
Or something that happened.
Yeah, you got
Share.
something?
Yeah, share with us.
We were 10 pounds over the weight limit, so we had to find a way to shave off 10 pounds with 20 minutes left.
Yeah.
And I just want to say that our whole bottom layer was 9.5 pounds, so that was more weight than one of our layers.
Wow.
Crazy. Yeah,
You
cake
guys
weighs a
have
lot.
anything? All right.
My question is, did any of you guys feel super nervous during, you know, maybe parts of when things were falling apart? Because you all looked calm, cool, and collected. So, anybody?
You lying if I said I didn't.
You did. You did. Anybody else want to answer? No? Okay.
Does anyone on the floor have questions
Yeah, do
for
you guys
us?
have questions?
I do want to say something. It's not a question, sorry.
Statement.
But I really just want to say that it was very, very difficult out on the floor today to remember that y'all are high school and middle school students. The level of ingenuity and professionalism that you all put on display is worthy of enormous amount of respect. And you are all professionals. You are not students of mine. And the teachers as well.
Yeah, so I know we talked a little bit last night about how we had some engineering and baking, and all you guys all go to the same school except for, you know, Huntington Middle and the high school, but you know, some of these kids may not really interact with each other than what they did today. And so I think for the cast, and anybody can answer too, how do you think it was collaborating with someone from a completely different field that you were in?
I want them to answer.
Okay. You know, those are two. Baking and engineering are polar opposites.
Yeah.
So, you know, you may not have ever collaborated with any of those students before until this challenge. Here.
Well, with our team, it felt really strange working with people who are baking. I'm not used to that at all. This was my how it worked. The way we collaborated was strange, but that's kind of because it had to be. It was different than anything that I ever tried before, and I think that helped me for future endeavors.
Awesome. Thank you. So that's really inspiring. Thank you.
Very much relate to that.
Yeah? Any other questions from the cast? Anybody want to ask? Yes?
I guess just to follow on to that, did anyone feel like they learned anything from the other specialties? So maybe the bakers from the engineers from the bakers. I think you automatically learn some skills, just by nature of you guys have different specialties. But maybe something about how you communicated or workflow or anything like that.
And social media.
Or yeah, social media, yeah, that as well.
Nobody learned anything from each other.
In a way, I feel like it kind of ties in with the last question of how we learn from each other and how difficult it was working with a different field. I learned a lot from working with the engineering kids because I'm so used to just thinking about how to make it really pretty instead of making it like structurally sound and able to like withstand like different conditions, you know? So I felt like it was really fun to learn and get to work with them and figure out how to make it work the best way possible.
Awesome. Was there anyone over here?
Problem solving with the math and the cooking part mixed together, that was a lot I've learned with math, as always. No go to math.
So I learned that engineering and baking is a lot alike and a lot different in the same aspect. Because like if you use like 2 grams more flour or something like that, it's going to come out different than if you use 2 grams less. So it's like the same concept. Like it's got to be like precise. It can't be like spread out on like different things, or else it's not going to be consistent.
Yes, very good.
So all of your teams were made out of 3 disciplines: baking, engineering, and social media. Out of all of the CTE professions, is there another profession that you would invite onto your team if you were to do this again?
Very good question.
You guys want to answer that?
Yeah.
There's a good bit of programs you could add. Like we could add carpentry for all the interior design walls. With us, with all of our lights, we could have added our electrical program in there, because we had to learn a lot of different things we didn't know from the other programs that they would have known. So like carpentry for the interior and electrical for the wires.
I agree.
That's very
Cool.
good. Very good.
That's a good combination.
Anybody else? Any of their programs?
From my tech center, what I would definitely add to my team would be our electrical, like he said, and we also have our welding program, and I feel like our structure would be firm if we had our welding. Absolutely firm.
Anybody else?
Okay, I think for everybody in the room, even the cast members, from your experience on Baking Impossible and our students here, what is something that you would have changed during the whole process? Is there anything you would have changed? Is there anything you would have added? Is there anything you would have done differently? I know that there was some adversity for every team, and then you guys even on the show. But what is something you would have done differently? Yeah.
So the big thing we probably would have changed was in between each layer we had lap joints connected to layers. They weren't really needed too much, but it was just kind of extra support, and that's really what put us over weight, we think. So if we would have known beforehand, we would have just cut those out and not even tried to put them in.
Anybody else?
So watching you all do this challenge reminded me of, like, I got in the headspace of when Cindy and I were doing this challenge on the show, and I realized I made like one kind of high-level engineering mistake that most of you, I don't think any of you made, which was sometimes you like add constraints because you think they should be there even if they shouldn't. So when I was designing with Cindy, I wanted ours to be light and strong, because in real life, you know, you want to use not the heaviest building materials. You can't make a building purely out of cement, right? So we constrained ours to be light and strong, but at the end of the day, it didn't really need to be light, and we ended up toppling early. I feel like you all did a really good job actually like seeing what your limitations and constraints were, and then optimizing for, you know, what the challenge really was. So that was awesome, and it reminded me what I could have done better. So thanks for the learning moment.
Yeah, we learned from you guys for sure.
Is somebody over here?
And something I'm really impressed, like, you know, you guys use your 3D printers, CNC machine, laser cutters. I mean, that's really good. That's really so, like, that's beyond for me. So yeah, thank you for doing that.
Yes.
No? Okay. Anybody else?
I have a question for the cast members. What would you say would be your favorite part of this competition that we did here?
So we're gonna get on Netflix. I don't remember.
I love the teamwork that I saw with each and every one of you.
That's exactly what I
I
was thinking.
seriously, we're all adults. We've been dealing in the adult world for a long time, for many years, and you guys haven't. And you acted like adults. You were professional, you were courteous, you were respectful, you carried out your plans even
Great
though
under pressure.
they went awry. You had a lot of pressure, you didn't show it. I would have been crying in the corner. Seriously, you guys did such a great job, and I learned a lot from watching all of you. So thank you, each and every one of you. You did a fabulous, fabulous job. Thank you.
I loved watching the joy and the resilience you guys all had, and then your
the fun.
teachers and you know your supporters, and watching your piece shake on the table and being so proud. I saw those smiles once you realized that, oh, we got this, it's solid. And so yeah, I just wanted to say I'm proud of all of you. You guys did amazing.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was so sweet to me to see all the people in each of your corners. So all your your teachers, the people who organized this event, especially when it just got started, and you guys are probably like way too like, oh, we're doing this, we're doing that, whatever. Everyone else around the room beaming just at you guys, at what you were doing. And it was so well earned and so well deserved. And it was really, really sweet to see you guys, like, clearly you all have been planning and working on this for so long. You had plans to execute, and like you were so tied in. And it was just so excellent. It made my heart so happy, and it made me just feel so excited for what the future of this industry looks like and what you guys' individual future looks like. Because I'm telling you, you have to put this on your resume forever. You have to show, I'm a recruiter. You have to show pictures. You have to tell recruiters, this is my resume, this is what I did. You have to tell them what you did, because what you did is not insignificant.
Yes.
Put pictures in your resume.
Yeah, totally third that. Also, like, okay, the question being like, what was our favorite part of this? Honestly, for me, I'd never been to West Virginia, no idea what to expect of the place, the people, anything. Like, I'm leaving completely dumbfounded about how, like, capable, like, you all were talking to me as if you were my peer. You sound like you've been working for like a year, whatever your fields are. Like, I'm talking to an engineer. I'm talking to somebody who works in the culinary field. You don't sound like high schoolers who have a little hobby interest. You sound like really serious. So to me, that's like a crazy thing to take away, is like, wow, there's high schoolers who are really next level. So just, and middle schoolers. But you should be, I think maybe because you're around this crowd so often, you might not know how exceptional you are, but I think you might all be really exceptional. So yeah, thanks for inspiring me.
Okay, so I have a question for everybody, and I think, again, to the cast too. I know you guys probably had some funny stories that happened behind scenes, bloopers that probably either made the show or not. Was there anything that happened with any of our teams that maybe none of us caught? I know we had a ton of media, a ton of people in there, all eyes on you. Was there anything funny that happened that you guys were like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad that nobody saw that? If you don't care to share, I know, did we have a team that got, I hope you're okay, that got burned? Someone got burned?
Oh, yes.
Are you okay?
I'm fine.
You're good. It's not funny, but that's something, you know, yeah, I got burned over here, you know, okay, good. So if there's anything else that happened like that, let me know.
So we were trying to ice and build our cake, and all of a sudden they needed an extra pair of hands putting together the lap joints. I don't know what a lap joint is, so I just went over there and I was like, what am I doing? And I was like, am I in the way? Do I need to move? What's happening?
Somebody else right here?
I've got a question for Edmund, is it?
Edwin.
Edwin. Where do you get such wonderful coats? Like an awesome looking red one yesterday.
Yeah.
Gold.
Going out of business sales, surprisingly.
Anyway, you just have everyone, how do you show up on the first day that we met?
Oh my
Sure. Show the comment real quick.
You will forever be our fashion icon.
Well, thank you. I'm honored. I get these coats at going out of business sales. Like whenever some store is going out of business, I'll go pop in there and see what's left behind that nobody else was bold enough to wear or wanted to wear, and that's usually where you find the most crazy off-the-wall things. So that's always a lot of fun, and I'm glad you guys are enjoying it as much as I am. And yeah, to Rodolfo's question, that first day we first met when we all came down to the hotel lobby, and this was like our first face-to-face meeting between all of the cast of the show, and I decided to show up in like a full-face respirator helmet because my nonprofit
Looked like he was going off to space.
I was ready to go to
like,
space. I had my SpaceX stickers on it as well.
Wasn't there something with lights?
Yeah, you had a light.
Yeah.
Yeah. So actually, I run a engineering nonprofit. So when the pandemic hit, there were a whole bunch of engineers who just wanted to do something, anything to help, but they didn't really know what to do. They were just posting on Facebook and like talking to their friends and being like, I just want to do something. So me and 3 of my friends started a nonprofit to organize all the efforts of those engineers. And we worked on several projects, one of which was a super low cost 3D printable respirator device. So this was like the equivalent from 3M is $3,000, and we could build them for under 200. And that's what I showed up wearing on that first day, was the full face helmet, respirator with the motor running and the filter pack and everything, looking like I was ready to go to space. And that's a first impression that I brought to all of you folks. I thought it was fun.
Yeah, no, it definitely was.
A lot of fun. And I remember Sarah saying to me like, oh, I'm gonna put you against that guy.
Okay, I think, so, do we have any seniors in here? Okay, lots of seniors.
Lots of them.
So, all of you are leaving this year. So what, and it doesn't have to be a senior that answers, but what advice would you give to any other students that are, and your classmates that are gonna go on next year, or even if they're not here? What would you give to somebody that's gonna try and compete next year?
Be involved as much as you can. We have made some of the best memories being involved in different competitions, and it's really sad that we have to leave this year.
Anybody else?
Well, as you've all probably seen, our cake didn't do the hottest, but my advice would be just have fun. Because at the end of the day, this competition is just supposed to be a fun thing. So don't get too stressed about like messing up or not being perfect. Just go for it.
Eat dessert and have fun.
There you go.
Oh, scraps.
Just one thing that everything you learn here today, you say, oh, maybe I'm never going to use this in my life again. But the engineer say, never going to bake again. But I remember being in school and learning geometry. I said, why am I going to use this in my life? And then I was a baker. I was doing a soccer ball. And I couldn't find the perfect measurements because geometry. So I spent the whole night like searching the internet like how to find the perfect geometry. So everything you learn in your life, maybe one day you're gonna use it. So. Yeah.
So I guess this question is more for the cast. How has competing on Baking Impossible changed your life, other than making these great friends and these people that are now family to you? How has it changed who you are?
So when we filmed the show, I was in college. I have since graduated. So the show helped land me jobs. So when I was talking about going around job fairs and showing pictures, that's exactly what I did. I showed pictures of things that I built at home, and then I would tell recruiters, I was like, you know, I had something that was kind of similar to an internship. Do you have Netflix? And I would tell them to watch it, and they were like, oh my God, it got me interviews, and it ended up leading me into a career that I really, really enjoy. And obviously, just such wonderful friends that I now get to do life with forever. So that's like super delightful and wonderful also as well.
I think for me, it just taught me, obviously going into the show, or even talking about like the first time we all met each other, I instantly gravitated towards the other engineers because I was like, my people. But then as the show went on, and especially as we were on, just teams of two, like learning how to communicate with my partner and, being able to communicate with someone that came from a completely different background and, had completely different ideas and different skill sets was just invaluable. Interacting with people like that, it just really opened my eyes to both, the additional skill sets they brought, but also just how to communicate when we didn't necessarily share, we shared the common language of English, but like the common language of, you know, some mathematics or something like that. So just, you know, having a partner that I really needed to depend on and learning how to communicate with her when she had a completely different background was something that I took away.
Okay, I could definitely give like a thoughtful, introspective like answer about how this experience had changed my life, but honestly, like the number one way when I think about my daily life that being on the show changed it is that I can't watch any reality show or competition show and like believe anything. I'm like, because I realized we existed for like 15 hours a day on set, and then that would become a 1-hour episode. So I was like, there was 14 hours of stuff we didn't see. So when I see an episode of like any of those singing competitions or other baking shows, I'm always wondering like, who's that person for the other 14 hours of the day? So never judge anyone you see on TV is I guess my advice. I don't know.
I spent my whole life waiting for the words "I'm proud of you." Because, you know, Asian parents, they're proud, but they don't say it. And it's funny how the universe works. Because after the show came out, strangers were coming to me, telling me that you're enough, you are amazing, and I would say don't ever underestimate your reach. Because when I get letters from parents and messages about how the things that we created, the magic that we created, inspired their little girl or little boy to become a chef or whatever, that's cool. You know, that's something that I'll forever be grateful for.
Oh, what I get back from the show that is, I think, the most rewardful thing is being able to give back, being now able to be here with you all and give back to the community, being able to inspire, being able to show people that, you know, sometimes you think this is your path and then there's a bump on the road and boom, you find something that you really do love. So being able to have that experience and be able to share it with all of you and now be here, and then, you know, you guys are also inspiring your younger siblings or your family members or your classmates under you. It's all like a ladder, and everybody is teaching each other. So being able to have participated in this show, built this family, and now be here with all of you is the most rewarding thing that I've gotten from the show. So.
Thank you guys for sharing that. Thank you. Okay, I think I want to ask, I know everybody, all the teams in here had to make a ton of changes during this competition. I think we all can agree that if we had more time, we would have been able to maybe get your visions out there exactly the way you wanted to. But does anyone want to share? I know we saw it all. The moment that you knew, we got to make some big changes. You know, we got to take 10 pounds off. We've got to shave this whole side of our cake off. We've got to take off our icing. I mean, what was going through your head in that moment where you're, you know, and then we gave the extra 10 minutes. So you had the 10 minutes to make those changes. What was going through your head?
The entire top of our cake literally came off. The entire top of our cake literally just went splat, and we're like, oh. And so we had to go back, we had to like change it up. We had to start just like shoving stuff in there, trying to get it sturdy. So after the 10 minutes, we were like, it's just gonna be short. So we started taking off layers, you know, doing all that. But it was the moment, we actually have a picture of it. The cake top was just falling, and Alex had to go in and just catch it.
Oh, you gotta share that with us. You gotta get that.
I will.
Anybody else want to share? Yeah.
The extra 10 minutes kind of hurt us actually, because we're like, okay, our topper was a little bit slanted on we had a motor on it. We're like, we have extra 10 minutes, we can fix this real quick. No. And we went to fix it, and the whole thing just broke from us trying to fix it. We're like, oh, we should have just left it alone and sat there for the 10 minutes. So it kind of hurt us.
Anybody else want to share?
I have a question. Yeah. During this competition, like you said, that you had to learn about different stuff. Did this competition open up any of your minds to maybe potentially go into a different field or adopt some other skills?
Bacon.
Do you want to go into baking? Anybody? No? Okay.
So like, no, I still want to be an engineer. No, I still want to be big.
Take it back.
Well, I want to go to college for computer science, but I love doing engineering stuff, so this just makes it hard for me because I'm like, I just love to be able to do this too.
Yeah.
So.
You can always make things on.
You could do mechanical engineering
I was also,
because you do programming and also electrical and also statics
I was
and also civil.
I was thinking about dual majoring with robotics engineering and computer science.
That's crazy.
The best
Go crazy though. That's awesome.
Oh wow. You only have one life.
Anybody else?
All right, so back to communicating with your partners, and again, this can go for the cast while you were on the show too. How did you guys communicate together during those high pressure moments? Back to whenever you had to make those big decisions on changing up your design, changing up your cake. What were you guys, how were you communicating together?
There wasn't really any communication. It was a wing on the fly kind of thing.
Okay.
You knew what you had to do when you got there.
Yeah.
We instantly just started doing our jobs like normal people.
Sure.
There was a big collaboration. We were all excited to do it. Very nervous. Honestly, super nervous. It was hard to even raise my hand to this mic. But I think we just needed to do what we had to do, and we wanted to win, and we tried our best, and we put forth all our effort, and I guess that's what made us, communicate.
Sure.
Well, Maduka and I really struggled because he's very sweet and he's funny, but I'm like a lot. And so I'm not that great of a communicator, and so we both just would kind of shut down. And if you watch the show, the car episode, when we really came to a fever pitch, I told him, like a couple times that you can't attach Rice Krispie treats directly to wood. And he didn't want to tell me that he had used spray glue because that was against the rules. So he's like, I got it, it's going to stick. And I'm like, it's not going to stick. And so in that moment, I was just yelling at him. And then to watch it back on camera, it was so embarrassing that I got that mad at him and so frustrated. And there was even a point that I threatened to break my leg to get to go home. So it was very hard. But we've had family counseling now.
You always joke like you guys were like husband and wife.
Yes,
Going through
and
that.
if I had it to do over, I would pick him 10 times over every time. Very hard.
So while we were competing, there were a couple times where both us and our engineering kids had to ask the other people to dumb it down for us because we didn't understand what terms they were using. Like at one point, I don't remember what they were talking about, but I looked at them and I said, "You are using smart people words, help me." So it was just learning to communicate like in a simpler way for all of us.
Thank you for sharing those moments. Yeah, I think you guys had to build a lot of trust in one another too. You had to trust, the engineering students and the baking students to know, you know what you're doing, I know what I'm doing. And in these high pressure situations, you have to be able to say, I trust you, you got this. If you think we need to take this off, we'll take it off. If you think we need to change this, we'll change it. And you trusted each other. I think that goes for everybody. Are we correct? Yeah. You guys did an amazing job. If there's any other questions, any other comments anybody wants to say, we can share them now. Otherwise, we can wrap up and get ready for awards. Yeah.
I know I'm not a student, but I had asked Sarah and somebody else that I was talking to earlier, but I want to ask some of you, if you had it to do all over again, would you be on the show?
Oh yes, definitely. I wouldn't change it for nothing. Maybe my partner would.
Last night we actually discussed this.
Oh.
And we talked about not missing out on opportunity, more like regrets of you know, do you regret something, not doing something or doing something? And I think all of us agree that like it's kind of like the silly, you know, like you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. And I think for this, like a lot of us, when we got the offer, it was just like, oh yeah, like of course. But very easily something else could have gotten in the way. I think, you know, in the first round of the show, before the pandemic hit, you know, I think a lot of us weren't available or able to do the show. And it was almost like a second chance. And I think a lot of us are super grateful that we still got that opportunity. And as hard as it was, like it was so rewarding. It's just such a cool experience to have had. So.
And I think all of you students can agree that given another chance, you would for sure take up on this opportunity to compete in this competition again, wouldn't you? Let's give them a round of applause. All right, so that wraps up our Q&A. We've got about a 5-minute break, and we're going to start awards here in a little bit. So if anyone needs to use the restroom, we are going to take a little break, and then we'll start with awards, okay? Awesome.
Let's skip to the blue here.
I did a lot of the building, and then I was our head coder, and then I was able to drive from there, so I was doing all of it. So that's why I did the aerospace programs. I was like, you see what this is like.
And then when Skills USA came
yeah. Oh, so I'm in between two colleges. I like their computer. So I'm debating it. Yeah, I think the only thing is if I decide robotics, but I think it's sort of I already applied.
So I was at this robotics company, kind of like design studio, you know, they were like, and they were all like, you know, so somehow that they found this and they're like, hey, it's too easy to make a machine. So but so and I was like, I don't know, my first thought was for a second, especially these days, that's but then it's just like, maybe there's something that so used to millions of people, we only knew a couple thousand. So it just got this like big photo, and I got the their cameras out, videos small part of something.
The year before it was fun, so we don't grow a lot, and she told us we're while we were done with the project, so we got ended up
So don't do it. Is it?
we give a full presentation. So they're all they
places.
Is there a way we can just run through this test many times to see if there's any faults that's going to happen? That's why that's not it's a really good place It was nice meeting you. We did like the other discussion was we didn't I didn't see it.
All right, if I can get all the cast to come have a seat there for me.
Sandra Diaz. They swung us around again.
All right, this is the fun part. So what I want to do is I want to take a few moments to thank some people that have really worked behind the scenes to really put all this together and make this happen before we get to the really fun part, the actual awards, right? Yeah. So first of all, I want to thank is Chef Perry here in the house. There's Chef Perry. Chef Perry, can you step up here for us?
So very much to me.
So Chef Perry, so from the whole group here, I know you've done a lot of work behind the scenes. You've been very instrumental in everything that we've done. You've made the connection with Dr. Baker and Mount West for us. So we have created a little thank you made by our CT staff.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, so that was actually made from our students at Roan Jackson Career Center. Those students aren't competing today, but that doesn't mean that we're still not going to thank them for all the work they do behind the scenes. So is there anything you'd like to say to the group?
I just want to reiterate what everybody else has said today. What a fantastic time today has been. I think you guys really stepped up. You made changes on the fly. And you know, that's exactly what life is about. Just being able to roll with the punch and come out of it with a smile on your face, even though if it's not the best you wanted. I was on Wheel of Fortune a couple of years ago, and my first 4 spins were bankrupt. I know all about disappointment. But I did win the prize puzzle, so that was a nice vacation to take.
Nice.
But just the fact that you guys showed up today, I would love to see you guys in my classroom up here when we decide to graduate. So if you want to take any tours of our facility, let me know. I can get you inside of those. I had Chef Patrick and some culinary students helping me out today, and as well as my division dean and Dr. Baker and Rod, who helped get everything set up at the last minute for us. So I'm just very appreciative that you guys are here, and I'm looking forward to what we can see next year. And of course, my new Netflix friends, you are welcome back.
Yes.
And we'll see what kind of magic we can make in 2025.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, to the whole entire Mount West staff and Dr. Baker, thank you for opening your doors to us today. This has been fabulous. Your facility, all your folks have been so wonderful to work with, just behind the scenes helping us put all this together. So thank you guys for that and continued partnership. Yeah. And I will say, I'll put a little plug. I know Dr. Baker doesn't mind. If you're not aware about the INVEST scholarship, right? Free college tuition to come to community college here in West Virginia. So I'm sure if you want to ask a few questions afterwards, Dr. Baker and his staff will be more than happy to talk to you about attending school here in the fall. So, all right, so with that, Aaron Fedorko, where are you at, Aaron? There he is. Could you stand up for just a moment? So those of you who don't know Aaron, so Aaron came to us actually with a machine tool background from industry into teaching, and I've been with Aaron now for quite a while, I guess, yeah, like since the beginning, right? So Aaron, like, he is one of the most energetic, creative instructors that I've ever seen. This guy, like, what he can do and build is amazing. And those students, can his students stand up to from his class? Yeah, you have no idea what you have exposure to. What Mr. Fedorko does for you guys on a daily basis in the class, and those of you at Wheeling Park, you guys know him. The rest of you, if you don't know the type of things that he can do, that shake table that's setting out there, he and his class actually made that from scratch. Watching the show, pausing it along the way, and scaling it down step by step. They built every piece out there that's on that machine. These trophies that you see over here, that started as a block of metal that Aaron and his students actually used lathes and did and designed. Wow. He's created all of those. That's so awesome. Let's give him and his staff and all of these students. Another group that's not here with us today, but I definitely want to thank them. All the t-shirts that you're wearing, the Culineering t-shirts, those are actually made from the students at Mingo Central High School in Mingo County. So let's give them a big round. Yeah. So to our Netflix cast friends from Baking Impossible, as you can see here in West Virginia, when we throw out a challenge, people come from all over to help out. I mean, we are one big community here. And so what I want to do is every teacher that's in here, or parent, or administrator, if you could stand up for just a minute. Yeah. Each of you that are standing here right now, what you've done over the last few months and over the last several years, you have created an opportunity for students that nowhere else in the nation is it created. I mean, you guys have done this. None of this that we're doing here would be possible without each one of you and your support and your buy-in to this vision. Because I will tell you, I cannot do this alone. My staff here at the department could not do it by themselves. It's you guys who are actually in the field. So my hat is off to you, and I'll always be grateful to everything you do for these students. So thank you. One more big round for them. All right, if you're on my staff, can you kind of wave at everybody, or if you're setting, if you could stand for just a minute? So, if you aren't aware, a few years ago, when I watched the show, I threw this challenge out to the staff, and they literally looked at me like I had three heads. They're like, there's no way in the world that we can pull this off. No way, it's impossible. All right, challenge accepted, here we go. And you know what? This whole entire team that you hear and see from the Department of Ed, they've all been working behind the scenes. We've actually been working on this. Sarah, when did we start our first phone call? What happened? She went out. Yeah. Okay, so I think Sarah and I, we started talking, I think it was last December. So we've been talking all this time about leading up. Was it last December when we first did our first call?
I emailed you the day of last year.
So that would actually been last, like, October. Yeah, okay. So, you know, all of this, and when the staff, you know, when I said Netflix and the cast was maybe possibly going to come, they're like, what? When you told us about this 3 years ago, there's no way. And I know some of the instructors last year, that if you were at the event and I told you, I said, hey, I got this weird email. I don't know how true it is, but no, maybe the cast will actually be here. And look here, here they are. So my department staff, who are always on these wild rides with me and who actually support me, hats off to you. If we could give the department staff. Now, the cast themselves. You guys came from like literally all around the world, basically, to be here with these students in West Virginia. And most of you, I think most of you, this is your first time to West Virginia, right? Yeah. Are these kids not impressive?
Absolutely amazing.
I heard, Cindy, you were saying, talking about seeing people and their smiles, and Hannah, you were talking about, you know, as you watched the competition, all the adults, how we were smiling. There was nobody in this room that's heart was bigger and more filled throughout the day than mine. Kids, what you guys did today, I'm telling you, as a previous teacher, I'm like blown away. Like just hearing you guys speak, seeing what you build out there, I mean, my goodness. And then you have these wonderful mentors. I know that some of them got to get on calls with you, you know? And so what we've done for you guys is in West Virginia Hospitality, we've actually created
Yeah.
So these were actually created by our students. Oh my goodness. So then, what I would really like to do too, because there's two of you, you've been on every call, you've been in every conversation, and you actually kind of got this started. So if Rodolfo and Sarah, if you guys could step up here for just a moment. So we actually went, and you'll get one of those, but we actually made you a few extra little things in hospitality fashion. So those beautiful little trophies over there that they're going to bring over. Yeah.
That is awesome.
Oh my goodness.
This is amazing. This is
So
especially
this is
when you get to keep our
yes, there you go. This is actually a scaled down replica of the actual Culineering Challenge cup that we share. All right. Wow. Then we also have.
Can I say something?
Yes, please.
On the show, we won a trophy, but we never got home the trophy. So now this is going to be our first.
So we also have cutting boards made for you guys that were made for the students from Jackson.
Wow.
And I know this is a lot.
Thank you so much.
And then the last gift that we have from you is actually from our salt mines here in West Virginia. Oh. Give you guys a little bit of flavor and spice.
There you go.
There you go.
Wow, I'm overwhelmed.
So, yeah. But I share truly, Rodolfo, I cannot thank you guys enough. You made all this happen. You helped convince your friends to come here to West Virginia. Some of them probably are like, West Virginia? What? Where is that? No, but really, you reached out. You really made this happen. So I truly, and I know everybody in this room cannot thank you enough for really pushing that on the road.
Well,
So
thank you for having us, and thank you for doing it. You know, I reached out because. Oh my God. Put me out. I am so pleased, and I am also overwhelmed. You know, finding out about it to begin with, and watching you speak about what was happening, I could almost not reach out. It's just so amazing to see this come out of the show. You know, there wasn't really a season 2, but so many people have reached out to me, and I'm guessing all of you, about how inspiring it was to see engineers on TV, to see bakers doing things, to see male bakers, female engineers, queer people, a whole bunch of different things. And what a wonderful outcome. I hope you guys keep doing this. I hope you remember this moment. I hope you take it home with you and go, that was a cool day. I hope everybody feels amazing because you all did an incredible job. And watching you all do it and enjoy it and work together and pivot, lots of pivoting, it really was just amazing. And that I think really comes down to the staff, right, and the leadership, the teachers. You guys all get a huge round of applause in my book. Went into it, so you guys are incredible, and especially to you and the leadership that you have with your staff. They clearly like their jobs. They were doing above and beyond all the time. I see you smiling over there. It was purely delight for us to be a part of it. So thank you so much. Do you want to say anything?
As well, we want to say thank you to Andrew because he started this idea, I don't know, 2017, something like that. He pitched the show, and I created this whole thing. And then it's just an idea. It started with an idea for you, and it's getting bigger every year. Maybe can go national, someday. And everything started here in West Virginia.
And thanks to you guys, because it wouldn't have been as much fun if you guys weren't all willing to come. So I was easy when I'm like, hey, guess what? And they're like, we're in! So you guys are the best. Thank you so much. Thank you.
So yeah, to the staff, guys, really, truly, this means so much. And for everybody else here in the audience, so the staff has been so wonderful. I got to spend a few hours with them yesterday morning, got to talk to them a little bit yesterday or throughout today, and I hope to talk to them a little bit after this. But one of the requests that they actually asked of me, several of you, said, hey, how do we get involved and continue to be involved in what you're doing here? Beyond just this culinary challenge. So what I would tell each of you instructors and each of your students, don't hesitate to reach out to these guys. As you can tell, they're passionate about what they do. They want to share their craft with you. So if you have ideas or whatever, you want to get in contact with them, anybody on my staff can get us in contact with them. And hopefully all of you are willing to do our debrief call with us that we're going to do here in a few weeks, right? Absolutely. And maybe talk about what could happen next year. So those of you that are underclassmen or in the middle school, you may just have an opportunity next year for a new challenge. It may even be more difficult. So just be prepared. So teachers, just be on the lookout for something. So with that, Emily, are we ready to do awards?
We are ready for some of our small awards.
All right, here we go.
All right, so we have had some crazy competition today, and everyone, I know we've given so many rounds of applause, but let's just give one more round of applause for all of our teams. So we've got some small awards up here, and we do not want anyone to go unnoticed. So we have one award for the best cake topper, which was judged by Sarah and Rodolfo, and that cake topper award goes to 100 High School.
The top.
If you'd like to step up here so you can get a picture.
Come on, top. Top of the top.
We'll do this like that. Yep.
Okay, we have our next award, and that is the best video submission. So for every team that is here, they had to submit a video with their application to compete in this competition, and we all went through and we picked the best video, and the best video submission goes to Wyoming County.
Yeah, you're coming up. So just so everybody knows, these videos, I was not on the judging committee. However, I did get to watch everyone that was submitted. And let me tell you, you guys, you're not only creative out here on the floor, you're really creative behind the camera. So kudos to all of you. Your videos were really, really amazing. These guys right here, their video kind of had a Mission Impossible kind of theme to it that was really unique. We will share that out on our social media after the event so that everybody can see the winning video. So congratulations to all of you.
More. 2.
Okay, for our last small award, we have our best social media campaign. So this was the team that was pushing out all of their hashtags, pushing out all of their pictures on their Instagrams, and getting all their media out there for everyone to see. And this award goes to Spring Valley High School.
trip. Thank you.
So there is an award, we actually don't have an award for it, but when we were all in the judges room, if you guys remember, we were talking about a spirit award. And there is this one individual in this room that we're like, oh my gosh, hands down, this person deserves the spirit award. So in the future, it will actually become an award as part of the culineering. And this award was actually, goes to Spring Valley High School.
I had fun.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah. So in the future, she has now inspired us in a spirit award. So we're still tallying. All right. So let's take just a quick 5-minute, just little intermission. It looks like there must be really close scores between first, second, and third that they're in here determining. So if everybody can hang tight for about 5 minutes, okay?
Does that mean we need to go back to the chambers?
I forced this to say thank you. Oh wait,
There you go.
we have to say it. Okay, I got this guy.
Sit me.
This film is from our year we get together. Come in. I'm so sorry. Okay, yeah, you have to work the shot.
Anna?
Okay. So pretty much.
like how you done with Taylor. Randy?
Thank you, Beyonce.
Right here in front. Randy. Vanessa.
Yeah, well, yeah, right, it's really important, yeah,
Thank you, Beyonce.
Hold on.
Congrats to all those winners for those small rewards. We will be back with the top 10? Top 3.
And they got that fresh off the laser cutter smell.
Yes, yeah.
I know that smell very well.
I forget who actually decided that, but it's like, it's actually doing it. Yeah, that's what they were trying to go with. Yeah.
They're looking for it.
So 3 years ago, down at the bottom, the little Culineering Challenge logo, students actually created that. They were from Nicholas County. They're not here competing this year, but students in their graphic design created that logo. And then we just kind of branded it as every year that becomes one of them. Yeah.
Okay.
You guys must have had
They're like, oh, this is really nice to get. Seem to get. Thank you, Beyonce. You like have to.
It was originally
You get good on it.
Yeah. Real fast.
We're gonna talk to the lawyers or something. There's like so many times in the convention show, referencing it. They don't know us as people right.
I mean, as long as you're making the most of it, that's what I
I think there are things in challenges that they don't get, especially if they're going to start licensing ads, right? I think you want to check, just make sure that they're coming in and see some of this stuff over those lawyers. Yeah, well, I mean, it would be great. It would be great if they got involved and decided to collaborate. That would be ideal. Yeah. That would be ideal. Well, I mean, this program's got an actual feeder for contestants for that.
Everybody ready to see who has won the 2024 Culineering Challenge. And we do have a third place, a second place, and a first place. And I'd like to reiterate that third place will get a $2,000 grant for their school, as well as a 2024 Culineering Challenge cutting board. All right, so without further ado, our third place winner is Marion County. For their school, as well as a 2024 Culineering Challenge cutting board. And our second place winner is Huntington East Middle School and Huntington High School.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, yes.
I can't do that.
All right, so for our first place grand champion, they will receive a $5,000 grant for their school. The large trophy here that Clinton is holding, and each student on the team will get a $200 personal check from the West Virginia Hospitality and Travel Association Education Foundation. So without further ado, our 2024 Culineering Challenge Grand Champion is High School.
That's right. So if everybody didn't know, Hunter High School, and especially for the cast member, for our first annual culinary, this school was our grand champion for the first one. Oh yeah!
Oh, I love it. It's beautiful. Oh.
Alright, congratulations to all of our teams. We want to thank all of you for being here, all of you for participating. We cannot wait to see what next year is going to bring. Hopefully something bigger and better, and we hope to see a lot of familiar faces again. And thank you all for coming. If we could have all of the cast members, anyone who wants a picture, to please step out onto the patio so we can get a big group picture out here. Yes, all the cast members.
I like how we are not.
And the students,
You don't get a choice.
Your army.
You will be in the picture. And we'd like to thank all of our viewers at home for watching on the live stream. Thank you, everybody.
We'll have to come back. See, we're already on here. Hey. Are you on
All right, this concludes our culinary challenge for this year. We will see you next year. And congrats to all the winners. See you soon.
Whitewater raft.
Whitewater raft in the summer. Yeah, it's fun.